Heads up, I'm going to be talking about some things that were shown in the most recent Alan Wake 2 video posted by IGN. So if you want to go into Alan Wake 2 blind, don't watch this video. Last night I started my 4th or 5th playthrough of Alan Wake. I've been a huge fan since the original Xbox 360 release. I've got the special edition box set, I've read the novelization and watched the Bright Falls series both like 3 times over. I obsessively deconstructed that tech demo of Alan Wake from almost a decade ago. I even read that weird house renovation blog thing that seemed to be setting up some kind of sequel. Even though it hasn't actually been that long since my last playthrough, I'm giving it one last go around to refresh my memory on everything Alan Wake and Bright Falls before I dive into Alan Wake 2 this October. I know I'm hardly alone here, but Alan Wake is a game that's very near and dear to my heart. It's one of those few games I would describe as life-changing, and I've been waiting for a sequel for well over a decade now. Something I had totally given up on ever seeing. Because of who I am as a person, as I played through those first few scenes, I started obsessively documenting things I wanted to follow up on in the sequel. Will we get more information on Clay Stewart this time around? What about Thomas Zane? Will we run into him in the Dark Place? Are we going to see the 81st Deer Fest? I got real specific with it. There's a building with the name Weaver on the signage, and I want to see if we'll find out if there's a connection between it and Cynthia Weaver. I even made a note of some things I saw on the bulletin board at the Oh Deer Diner. Will we see Coffee World in Watery? What about this Armour beer? I assume that for the most part, we won't get any answers. And that's fine. Hyper-obsessing over extremely minor details is just a thing I tend to do, as much as I may not want to. But then I go to bed, and as I'm scrolling through YouTube, because falling asleep to YouTube is the only way I can sleep anymore, I see this. And almost immediately, those little details start paying off. Armour is on this dude's hat, and later on in the video, Saga Anderson actually pays a visit to Coffee World. Speaking of Saga Anderson, I can't believe I never made the connection before, but Saga Anderson, the Anderson brothers, could she be related to the old gods of Asgard? The way those two guys remember her from some past that apparently didn't happen echoes how the Anderson brothers mistook Alan for Thomas Zane at the start of the first game. But that's a conversation for another time, I guess. I cross-referenced the bulletin board in the remaster with the one in the original 360 version, and the Armour Beer and Coffee World references weren't there. The fact that both of those details were immediately seen in Watery makes me think that there's going to be a ton of other little nods to Alan Wake 2 in the remaster that weren't in the original. I don't think any great plot twist or revelation will be found in some random environmental detail though. I just think Remedy wanted to do a bit of world building. Maybe to make the world of Alan Wake 2 feel a bit more authentic. Maybe to help strengthen the connection between the two games. Whatever the case may be, I think it's clear that Remedy wanted us to notice. It's not a big deal or anything, this is just something I thought was pretty cool. I'm going to keep adding to my list of details as I play through Alan Wake Remastered. And if I find anything cool that might show up in the second game, I'll let you all know. And if I got a detail wrong or missed something, either in the first half of the new IGN video or a detail in the Oh Deer Diner, please let me know in the comments. I should probably point out that I've mostly been avoiding gameplay videos of Alan Wake 2 lately, and even the video mentioned in this one, I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm cool with spoilers, but just saying, there might be some details in the footage released that sheds a bit more light on some of the stuff I've talked about here. Maybe. Thanks for watching, and until next time, make sure to stay hydrated and get enough sleep. I don't know. See ya.